Unique Mecca Audio, man. I'm here, not doing the intro because I want to make sure this video gets out today. All right. Now, this video is dedicated to Miguel Trujillo. All right. Sureno love. My man sent me some love. I'm explaining at the end of the video, and then we'll get back in it. But big shout out to Miguel Trujillo. Now, we talking about Lompoc again. Sometimes I stick with Atwater and I might go to Allenwood or whatever, but I've been on my Lompoc ride. So I'm going to tell you how it worked in Lompoc, right? Now, Lompoc, they wound up closing it because, it was too much dope on the compound. They couldn't control it. All the police was corrupt, everything. So they had to break it down from a penitentiary to a medium, Because when it was in a penitentiary, it was out of control. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of quick stories, running it down about Lompoc and how it was. Remember that Lompoc, California. This is where they used that they was going to on Con Air or something like that. But everybody know Lompoc, the California dudes ain't no joke. Now, but they're a different breed than the East Coast dude. I'm going to break down the breed between East Coast and West Coast, convicts and men from my point of view. You know what I mean? But now we on the Surenos. They stay there. The Surenos, they got everything run. So you understand, we got the Surenos and we got the Border Brothers. Those are the two groups that we dealing with today, a.k.a. cars. Remember that. Groups of cars. Or cars are groups. Now, we dealing with the Border Brothers. They call them the Border Brothers because, what I was told, what I learned from over there, so correct me if I'm wrong. You know what I mean? But what I learned is that they call them the Border Brothers because those are the ones just came across the border. They ain't been here long enough yet. You know what I mean? So they call them Border Brothers, and they're along the border side, of Mexico. So that's how they sneak over into the country. So they call them the Border Brothers. You know what I mean? Just like they got the Norteño because they from further up north, Northern California. Then you got the Sureno. Then you got, listen. The Surenos ain't nothing joke. I'm not just saying this because I'm giving my man some Trujillo love from Sureno love. Just letting you know. The Surenos is like this, man. They discipline. The Surenos, they get up in the morning before the doors pop. The doors pop. They suited, they booted, they mattress rolled up at the end of their bed, and they doing their push-ups. You understand? In the cell or they stretches and they getting ready. Then they turn around. And then, when they go eat, they eat together. Everybody do that. But now, after they done eating, they go to the yard and they got their little protocol where they go to the yard and they work out together. You might see 15, 20 Surenos over there doing their burpees, jumping up, doing what they do. They disciplined. They always prepared for war, period. Those are the most disciplined, California gangs that they have out there. No disrespect to the Bloods and the Crips, just keeping it 100. Y'all know how the Surenos rock and roll. The Bloods and Crips official, let's get that right. But the Surenos, they got discipline. You know what I mean? It's like because the old heads was in it and still in it. They keep the structure together. So you got the Surenos now. The Surenos in Lompoc, they had the cop that was bringing in the dope. And it's funny when I sit here and I say, yeah, they got the cop that was bringing in the dope. Then, of course, we got the little YouTube, keyboard gangster hating about, oh, he's telling because he said the cops are bringing in the dope. We talking about 25 years ago, nigga. You know what I mean? Most of the viewers wasn't even born yet. And everybody already got caught and did what they did. But anyway, Lompoc had, all the police was working. But the Surenos, they had, the pipeline as far as to bring the dope in the joint. You know what I mean? That was the black tar. Let me not say dope because out there they use black tar and they don't call it dope. But they bring, they do call it dope. But they bring the black tar in. Now, when they get it in, they got a police that bring it in, that was bringing it in. The police would bring it in, and when he bring the drugs in, he takes it and he gives it to the Surenos, might be a half a key or whatever. Yeah, a half a key in the prison. He give it to the Surenos, and then the Surenos would take out their portion and then would give the Border Brothers everyone else's portion. You know what I mean? Now, the Surenos is not allowed to deal with the blacks. So I'm giving y'all intricacies what's going on. They're not allowed to do business with the blacks and none of that. So that's why they use the Border Brothers. That's why I mentioned them at the beginning, so you understand those are the ones just coming across the border. So that's why they use the Border Brother to sell it to the blacks. Like y'all talked about my man Chinese Jimmy. Give my man Chinese Jimmy a round of applause, man. Give my man Chinese Jimmy. Y'all want part 3? You know what I mean? Hit that like button, man. Hit that like button, and y'all got to learn to follow instructions, because I'm going to give y'all instructions. But big shout out to little Jimmy. But, you know, because somebody asked me to comment, well, if he didn't deal with nobody, how did he get to buy drugs? Because in there, everybody stay in their lane. And, you know, they said, well, how was he able to get the dope? You know, everybody stay in their lane. And, you know, you spend your money and you respectable and you respect the land and you don't have any problems. You understand? Only problems you have is when you mix with cars. The problem 9 times out of 10 come out of the car from either you doing something wrong in the car. I mean, somebody else doing something wrong in the car. You doing something the car don't agree with or whatever. And there's too much politics with it. But anyway, little Jimmy was copping, you know, from the Border Brother. We're going to call him Monster, you know. Y'all that was out there, y'all know who I'm talking about. You know what I mean? That's not his real name, but, you know, you remember Lumpar. He had a big tattoo all across his forehead. He was like a dark-skinned Mexican. You could tell he was out in the fields. He was almost as dark as me, but was like a copper color. You know what I mean? Literally. And then he had his whole forehead tattooed up, you know. And he walking through the joint, and it's like, you know, you could send your money up front to him. So Jimmy will send his money up front. You know, I'll send my money up front. You know what I mean? We talking about back 2001. So we talking about 20 years ago. So y'all want to talk crap. But, you know, we all send our little money up front. When I say our little money, we'll send, you know, like $1,200 will get us a 20, you know, will get me, you know what I mean, a 25 gram ounce. You know what I mean? We know an ounce is 28 grams, but over there they do it 25 grams. So y'all don't go nitpicking like Unique don't know what he talking about. Because I know y'all like that crap, but you can't challenge me on nothing because I speak facts. Now, so, you know, imagine 10 people sending, you know, $1,200 to $1,500 to buy this, you know, ounce. You understand what I'm saying? So that's 10 out to 18, you know? And they paying like $50 a gram. You know what I mean? On the street, $20 a gram, whatever. But it don't add up to nothing. But anyway, everybody get their stuff and they get it in and send their money up front. But when they send their money up front, they send it to the Border Brother, not the Sureno, because the Sureno not allowed to deal with the blacks. You understand what I'm saying? So the Sureno, you know, they'll deal with the white guys. A couple of the white guys might send them their money up front, or they might go through the Border Brothers. But what they normally do is they let the blacks go through the Border Brothers, and they'll deal with the white dudes, because the white dudes, they look at it as more mannered and respectable, and they allowed to deal with them because they, you know, whatever. So now, when the drugs come in, you know what I mean? The Border Brothers would get the drugs after, you know, well, they'll be able to get the drugs, they sell the drugs after the Surenos sell it to who they want to sell it to, meaning the white guys and the other people they deal with in the car. But and then whoever they sell it to, they get the first run to sell the drugs on the compound. So that means the Sureno will get their drugs. They sell all of theirs first. You understand what I'm saying? They sell all of theirs first to their, you know, workers, and they put their workers on the compound, and they the only ones with it. But the Border Brothers now, they also got theirs, but they not allowed to sell it until after the Surenos sell it. That's how disciplined this joint was. So could you, man, you waiting on your drugs to come in, and then when it finally come, you got to wait to sell your drugs because, you know, the Surenos got to sell their drugs first. Big shout out to the Surenos. Big shout out to the Surenos. Let's keep it right. Let's keep it 100, you know? Now that's gangster. You know, the drugs come in, they get first run, they get all the money. You understand what I'm saying? And then they disperse it to the Border Brothers, and then Border Brothers disperse it and trickle it down to the old black boys. You know what I mean? And that's where Jimmy come in down there. But Jimmy, you know, was able to deal, and this is crazy. You know what I mean? Jimmy was able to get his, you know, directly from the Surenos. You understand what I'm saying? Because they didn't look at him like he was black, and he didn't run with the black car. So Jimmy was able to spend his money right with the Surenos, so he was able to sell his right in with the Surenos like he was a Sureno, just because his color wasn't black and he stayed away from the blacks. They don't respect the blacks. Let's get that right. You know what I mean? Miguel Trujillo, you know, we keep it at 100. Y'all done had issues with the blacks, whatever it is. Matter of fact, I think I got your number because you hit me up. I got to make sure I saved it. DM me again so I could bring you up here and we could let you explain, you know what I mean, how the Surenos, you know what I mean, view things, because I'm just speaking on my point of view. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I stamp what I could prove. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why I can stamp what, you know, what I've learned, but that don't make it the law. You know what I mean? People like Miguel Trujillo, that was the actual the Sureno brothers, I leave the door open for them to correct me if my interpretation was wrong. But that's why I'm respected on Man Time, because I don't go out talking about other people's business and not know what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm saying? Because I respect everyone's lane. You understand? Because we all gangsters. Big shout out to the Bloods, the Crips, the GDs, the Latin Kings, the Nettas. You understand what I'm saying? And my man, Homicide Lou. You know what I mean? Let's not forget Homicide Lou. You know what I mean? Because he runs the New York car. You know what I mean? And he runs it with an iron fist. Big shout out to Lou. You know? But, you know, and then big shout out to Antone White, who, you know what I mean, who keeps the DC car in order. You know, so I mean, we could just keep going on and on. But anyway, so let me get back. So now we got the drum. I'm going to speed up the story because I felt like I was slowing it down a little bit. I'm feeling a little better. So, you know, I'm just, you know, doing me now. So just sit back and enjoy the vibe. But anyway, so they get the drugs. Sureno sell theirs first, and they give it to the Border Brothers, and then the Border Brothers go. So now I said all that to keep you in place so you understand that. Imagine you've been waiting on the drugs to come. Then when it come, the Surenos got to sell theirs. You can't sell nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Till after the Surenos sell theirs. So now, you know, if you want something, you got to go buy it off the compound. Even though you have, you know, your people got their own drug that you waiting on to come, and you waiting to get hit off for what you sent your money for. Because even though I sent my money, I still don't get my drugs in my possession until after the Surenos done what we call rape the yard. You know what I mean? They call it rape the yard of all the stamps. You understand what I'm saying? And then they allow us to eat, you know, meaning the Border Brothers, the blacks, and everybody else. So now, when they get that, right, they hit the drugs off to the Border Brothers, and then the Border Brothers would got a list of everybody that sent them money. You know what I mean? Everybody that sent them money. They'll break it off and say, okay, Unique bought an ounce, this one bought an ounce, this one bought an ounce, and they make sure everybody get this. So now I'm telling you this one because my man Monster, remember that's a name that I'm giving him, want the tattoos all on the head, you know, dark like copper. Well, Monster sat there and he liked to get high. Like me, being that I don't use drugs, I always have drugs, even at the end of everything when everybody else run out. Even when the Surenos get a new batch, I still got something left over because I don't get high. So therefore, you know, and then close to the end, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I paper gouge them. You know what I mean? Something that would normally go for $25, I'll bust it in half and get 4 pieces where I charge 20. Take the $25 piece and get 4 $25 pieces out that one $25 piece. Yeah, call it cruddy, but this how black man survive when he out west, because he don't know when he gonna get the next pack. So now when I do that, you know, of course, you know, I do that when it's equivalent to a drought. I learned that from the street. You call it a drought in prison when the police don't get a chance to bring the drugs because the SIS is on them or somebody's on them and they can't bring it at the scheduled time, so it takes a little longer to bring it. So whatever was in there that was already used up, you know, smoked up, shot up, or whatever, you know, is all gone, and everybody's waiting on something new. And then here go Unique with that one $25 piece that he done chopped it 4 ways to make $100. So now you got to spend $100 to get a decent regular high for $25. I'm a hustler. You know what I mean? So that's equivalent to a drought because I'm the only one that got it. So I dictate my price. You don't want to pay me that, screw you. You understand what I'm saying? So now, dude got it. You know, so if dude used to come to me and he'll be like, man, here's 60 books, here's 200 books, you know, let me get 12 papers. 12 papers wind up being like 3 regular papers doing regular time, but he don't mind because he respect the hustle. You understand what I'm saying? Because whatever you have it for, you charge. If a person want, they get. If they don't, they don't. There is nobody can tell you what your material is worth. You understand? It's worth what you willing to take for it. And if nobody want to pay you, you sit on it and wait till everybody else sell theirs. And then you come out and say, hey, look what I got. I got 4 pieces that was one, made it $100. You know? But anyway, so now I'm going to get back to my man Monster. So the joint done came in. And, you know, Monster used, like I said, he'll come cop from me, bring a little 60 books, 100 books, and buy the little papers. So, you know, because he always know that I always have something. But now when it finally come in, now he ready to bang out, you know. So he come in, he get his share, and all his people is waiting, and they all outside the cell holding him down while he's supposed to be in the cell, you know, breaking it off to say, yo, okay, let me give my security, you know, this 3 grams. Let me give my lookout this 2 grams. Let me send Unique his 12 grams. Let me, you know, send, you know, Chinese Jimmy his, you know, his ounce or whatever. This was supposed to be going on. But instead, my man Monster, being that he liked that Moteca, you know what I mean? Moteca. Being that he like it so much, he in there banging out. You know what I mean? He in there banging out. Now, he banging out and everybody's piled up. Just like you see behind me right there, he's in the cell and everybody's in this hallway waiting on him because they know he got the pack. But instead of him distributing the pack, he in there banging out. Good visual, right? You see behind me. He's in a cell that's open bar just like that. And he's in there banging out when, you know, banging out means shooting up. You know what I mean? When everybody that done spent their money is out there waiting, his security that done spent their money buying my little ass papers while it was nothing there, they waiting to get high too. But he's in the room supposed to be busting it down to give everybody theirs, but he in there getting high and he get to nodding out. You know what I mean? So now his man, his security gets vexed with him. And his security run up in the room and he tell him, yo, what's up? Where my thing at? You know what I mean? And he's nodding there. So security winds up stabbing him, man. You know what I mean? Security wound up stabbing the big dog because he was taking too long to give him his shit. Could you imagine that? Your soldier stabbing you because you taking too long to, you know, to feed his monkey on his back. You know, I mean, it's crazy. You can't mind it. If I say, man, don't go to prison, youngin'. You know what I mean? And somebody say, oh, you tell these glorifying stories and then you say don't go to prison. No, it's not glorifying, my nigga. You a small-minded piece of crap. You know what I mean? And you take a man living like an animal, you know, these stories that I'm giving, and you call that glorifying? If you call that glorifying, you a real piece of crap. You know what I mean? There's no way in hell that I could sit here and tell you that I'm proud of living like this. You know, it's like seeing 10 Mexicans outside a cell piled up, 1 Mexican in there shooting up. You know that they getting ready to go stab each other, and you know that they sitting there shooting up when you don't shooting up. Man, that's a disgusting sight, man. It's disgusting. I done seen our own black people do it, the white people do it, everybody do it. This is what I had to witness while I'm pushing forward going to the law library to get out of prison. So you small-minded pieces of crap that consider any of this as glorifying, you know what I mean? You're the real coward. You know what I mean? Because nobody wants to go through it. You know, nobody want to go through it. Like I said, I just let y'all hear Jimmy Fingers. He's still in there and he telling you it ain't worth it. I bring people up here to tell you it ain't worth it. So if you small-minded people want to play them games, I read a couple of the little comments. It don't be nothing negative because, like I said, I'm going to keep it 100. If you got an issue, hit me in the DM. If you say something stupid in my comment on my YouTube, because, you know, that's my line to the youth. If you say something stupid in my YouTube comment, I'm blocking you. That'll be one less person there. So I don't care if 10,000 people want to say something stupid. I'm blocking 10,000 people from my comment. I ain't going to report you to YouTube. I'm just going to block you so you can't get on my page with them stupid ass comments. You know what I mean? Glorifying. Who the hell glorifies that? Yeah, it was glorifying when we lived it. We thought we was glorifying. We thought we was the man. But here it is. I'm sitting here at 58 and you disrespect me and call it that I'm glorifying? You know what I mean? When I'm telling you to tell your kids and share this with your kids and tell them it ain't worth it because it's the crap you got to go through. How could you sitting in your living room, man. You driving down the street in your car. You know, you're sitting standing on the corner, you know, looking at your phone and learning all about prison. And that's why I tell y'all, hit the Cash App, man. You know, hit the Cash App. I mean, what part of the game is that? You go to church to preach and give a good sermon, you hit the Cash App. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, come on, it's not that hard. You know what I mean? You show love. Hit the like button. At least hit that. But show your appreciation. Don't just try and get my game for nothing. And that's why I stop some of the videos in half and don't even finish them sometimes. I know I still got to get, you know, the Jimmy part 3, and I still got to get the Italian. Y'all getting fire, official, true life stories, man. Then I bring Jimmy Fingers up here, my man. But anyway, I'm going to get back to that. Let me get back to them in there. They go in there and they punish the border brother, the chief. You know what I mean? So now they don't punish him. He got locked up. Now nobody get nothing because, you know, the bull crap that happened, he's in a hole. All because the head of security, he wanted to get his high on. But the king, you know what I mean, was in there, the general, the chief, the El Capitan, who was in there shooting up the dope and got him out there waiting to get high. So could you believe this crap right there? So this is the type of thing that's going in the prison. So if that's what you want to go through, you know what I mean? Keep breaking the law. You know, keep thinking that I'm glamorizing it. I don't see nothing glamorous in seeing, you know, a bunch of border brothers stabbing each other. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why, you know, Miguel Trujillo, that's why I give the Surenos so much respect, because they was more organized. Very rarely, if ever, you're going to see a Sureno sitting there nodding. If a Sureno shooting his dope, he going to go in his room, do what he got to do, and do it respectfully. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't even think it's people approve of it. But what I'm saying is, you're not going to see none sitting at the table nodding. If you even speed one for a split second, they're going to tell him, yo, go back in the room. You know? And then they're going to roll up in there and DP him, and it's going to be a little 3-on-1 for him violating, coming out there, getting high in public. Because if you high in public, you can't defend yourself in public, so you can't defend the rest of the people in public. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You know, where they do that at? You know? But Surenos is situated like that. But anyway, so now he goes to the hole, and nobody gets their drugs. You know what I mean? Because, you know, they done had all this stabbing with the border together against each other. They got the dope in the room. But you know, ain't nobody going for that anyway, you know? So now of course, the SIS, they get a whiff of everything. So they know it's going to be a big old race war if they don't let this man back out, you know, so he could get to this dope to give everybody their dope. They know if they don't let him out the shoe, the dude, that El Capitan that got stabbed, that took the people's money, you know, he gets stabbed by his lieutenant, you know, his security. So now he's in the shoe, and nobody got their drugs that they sent their money for on the wire. And this is all reputable people. SIS get whiff of what's happening, because, you know, they just like in there, they tell too, but they do what they call a kite. They drop a note, or they pull up in a corner and pss, 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 in the SIS ear. But they let them know, look, you got to let Monster out. He got to go get them niggas they shit, or else they're going to roll up. They know they're getting from Surenos, then they're going to roll up on the Surenos. Ain't nobody else going to really do nothing, even going to jump on the say anything to Surenos. But, you know, them DC dudes ain't no joke. You know, now this is how they had the big wars, you know what I mean? And it's funny because people say, oh man, you're always praising DC. You got to praise DC, because when something like that happened, even though the Surenos passed it off to the border brothers, you know, if a DC dude got his money in there, you understand what I'm saying? If a DC dude got his money in there, you know, and let's say the Bloods and the Crips is not gonna, you know, the GDs or whoever, you know what I mean? Whoever say money, they not gonna go to the Sureno and say, hey, we know you've been giving it to the border brothers because you don't deal with us, and the border brothers in the hole and we want our drugs. Ain't nobody doing that in a prison. Surenos is strong. They like 700-800 strong on the compound. You know what I mean? So ain't nobody in their right mind doing that, except the DC car. Now, the DC car, they'll push up on the Surenos and tell the Sureno, roll up on a shot caller, you know. Not all crazy or nothing like that, you know what I mean? But they go to them crazy. But, you know, they go aggressive, put it that way. They pull up on the Sureno and the shot caller and explain to them, because everybody knows what's going on in there, even though we act like we don't know and we play the position deal we got to deal with. DC dude will pull up on the Sureno and tell them straight up, look, man, I done sent your people my money. You know what I mean? I know it went through them, blah, 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 blah. They in the hole, but da, 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 da. Yo, we want our shit, man. You know what I mean? We want our shit. And, you know, the Sureno, you know, shot caller might be like, man, I ain't got nothing to do with it. You send it to the Border Brothers. You understand what I'm saying? DC say, yeah, all right. And then they leave, they come back, and they roll on them in the kitchen where it's more contained. And, you know, you understand what I'm saying? Where, you know, they wait till the right time, they roll on in the kitchen. They always have big rides with the Surenos in the kitchen. Surenos know to respect the DC, like DC definitely respect the Sureno. But just let y'all know what it is. But everybody else will fall back and wait for it to play out. But the DC dudes is going to go right to the Sureno and demand theirs aggressively, but respectfully, and it's going to move from there. You know what I mean? Period. Now, if you think that he ain't going to give it to him, you know what I mean? If you think the Sureno not going to give it to him, you know what I mean? You know, that's where the war break out, man. Because I've seen shot callers say, nah, I'm not giving you nothing. I ain't got nothing to do with it. And, you know, DC dudes jump on them, roll up, and you know what I mean? And the whole car get put out of there. It's just crazy, man. But, you know, that's the world that I'm trying to tell you not to go in. But before I tap out, I want to give a couple of shout outs to the people that been donating, that understand how this works. Like I said, man, yo, y'all don't understand. You see this phone in my hand? You know what I mean? You see this phone? I sit here and I respond to all my comments that y'all put on these on these videos. I respond to them myself. I don't ask nobody else to do it. I do it. And you see these videos? I sit here and make these videos. You understand what I'm saying? That's time. Time to respond to comments. Time to make the videos. Then I edit the videos. You know what I mean? Then I got to figure out the best way to get it up faster so that y'all can see it without me having to wait for YouTube to go do their personal self-monetization of it. You understand what I'm saying? So now, you know, that shit is time consuming. And you don't think that I deserve a cash app? When I ask for a cash app, some clown ass niggas, oh, you nigga stop crying. Nigga, stop crying. Nigga, change the channel. You want something for nothing, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Everything costs in life, period. You know what I mean? Everything costs in life. You know what I mean? So let's stop the crap. Now, I want to give a shout out to Dewan Alfred, you know, good looking, Karim Lowers, you know, George, definitely Miguel Morel, Karim Lowers again, Thunder, okay, Darnell Davis, Chris McBride, Santos Camacho, Tierra. But that's what I'm saying. This is the love that I've been getting. I appreciate y'all for the donation. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm calling your names out on the joint to let them know that I appreciate y'all for the donation. Because like I said, we're up here doing YouTube, man. We could be doing other things. I'm stopping to respond to your comments. I'm giving y'all banging videos at 9 o'clock every morning. That's why I'm even putting this one up a little later, just so y'all understand. I mean, come on, dog. Like, where do we do this at? You know what I mean? So we got big shout out to Andrew Good Looking. Of course, my man Miguel A. Trujillo. Got to give him some love. Previn Melvin. Byron Carter. You know, Khalees H. Arnold. You know, John Maltese. Good Looking. El Soto. El Chato. You know what I mean? The Lion King. You know, come on, man. Bobby, Chelsea, Fuquan Sharif, that was Chelsea Frey, you know what I mean? Roosevelt Littleton, you know, I mean, come on, man. That's all names I'm going to call out right now, but I just wanted y'all to know I appreciate y'all, and that's how it is, man. The game is to be sold, not told. The same way I'm giving y'all jewels on the prison, I'm giving y'all jewels on YouTube etiquette. You know what I mean? You go to those, you know, European, those white stations where they talk to mobsters, talk in the street talk. You see, they people give them a donation when they like what they saying. You know what I mean? But our people feel like they don't have to give nothing. They want something for nothing, but no disrespect. That's why a lot of us is stuck where we at, because we don't know how to spread the love. You want to make sure the next person eats so you continue to eat. Why you think when I go on to my major interviews, I bring my man Bootsy with me? I don't want to be the only one eating. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that I put my man Bootsy in a position where, you know, he can make his own money so I could go to him and tell him, yo, let me borrow 500,000 real quick. Not him having to always come to me to ask me for something, because then I'll be a sucker if I'm not trying to make my brother eat. And that's the problem. Y'all sitting there watching these videos is free. You understand? And all you have to do is donate what you want. $1. Come on, my nigga. $5, $10, $20, but $1? Come on, my nigga. Send me your Cash App, and I'm going to send you a damn dollar. You know what I mean? You send me a Cash App, I'm going to send you $1, and you ain't give me a goddamn thing. You understand what I'm saying? But that's how it is. $1 ain't going to hurt us, man. Even if 20 of you clowns send the Cash App, you understand what I'm saying? You know, I still send it out, and it still wouldn't even hurt me or anybody else looking at this. So to sit there being tight pocket, tight grip, man, that's some old crap, man. Spread the love. You know what I mean? When you watching, you know, Hassan Campbell, you know, up for the bait, Zeke Black, you understand what I'm saying? Behind the razor wire. When you watching these channels, man, you know, you spend your money. When you watching, you know, Big Bootsy channel, you know, Street Knowledge Podcast, you send a donation. That's what it's about. You know what I mean? Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I got the homies hitting me up, so I got to get ready to go. Been on here long enough, man. But, damn, it's been 30 minutes. But let me tap out. Yes, y'all know, man, you know, show the love, man. God damn, spread the love with your YouTubers when you see what it is. I'm not just speaking for me. I'm speaking for all of us, because I'm the voice. I'm what you call a trendsetter. So I'm going to teach y'all how to respect, you know, each other on YouTube. You like somebody's content, it take time. Could you imagine sitting there responding to 500 comments? And then the person don't even want to even donate $1? Come on, my nigga. You know what I mean? Let me tap out where I know they're going to approve it real quick. So I'm not even going to put an intro on it. Cop the book of Ron Harlem. Like the video. Don't break the law. Don't go to prison. Get your life right. Know that Unique is going to give y'all nothing but jewels and wisdom. Don't take nothing I said offensive. If you do, DM me at Unique Mecca Audio at Instagram. And you can say whatever you want to say to me. But I don't do, and I know you don't do, my real subscribers don't do the keyboard gangster stuff. I had people DM me and tell me, do this video, do that video, or I don't like what you said in this video. You know what I mean? You said this, I feel it was inaccurate. And we deal with it as men or women on this direct side, not in the keyboard gangster side to talk crazy and reckless to each other. I don't do that. I come from the era where you got an issue, you bust your joint, man. You know what I mean? That's where I come from. You bust your joint. Now, I'm not talking about your fingers. You know what I mean? Not talking about your fingers. You know what I mean? You bust your joint. Nigga put that knife in you, you violate. You understand what I'm saying? Nigga put a hot one in you, violate. Not telling anyone to do that. Let's get that straight. But I'm just telling you where I come from. You understand what I'm saying? So I never learned to do all that lip professing and lip gymnastics and lip wrestling with another goddamn grown-up. You understand? Well, you can talk to me respectfully at Unique Mecca Audio at Instagram, and we'll get it right. That's it. I'm here to enlighten you, man. That's it. Not fight with you. All right? Share this video, like this video, cop the book of Ron Harlem. God bless you, and Merry Christmas. All right?